Hey YouTube, today we're going to feature a guitar as it gets ready to ship out. I'm getting my reverb store going again and starting to sell some gear again. So I've had this in my storage area, and so you can check out, I've got a video about how I long-term store guitars electric guitars, in order to keep them preserved from elements and so forth, and I do the same sort of thing for shipping. So I'm going to take this one out and get it ready to ship by getting it tuned up, make sure everything's good to go on basic intonation, set up, that sort of thing, and tell you about this really cool model. This is a Harley Benton Modern, and this is a Mosrite style guitar with the German carved body. This has got the twin P90s in it, so stay tuned as we take a look at, and I take this out of storage and feature this Harley Benton Modern. Alright, so there we have it. Here's the Harley Benton, very nice headstock, very cool. This is the classic vintage series, the MR, which is for modern. And you can see this has got this cool kind of offset double cut and very nice carve on the body. Very, very nice. It's got the German carve, the so-called German carve, which is a cool, you don't see it a lot on guitars, but the idea of it is to have it similar to an arch top, but it is still actually flat. And so it is flat, but you get that cool double bevel on the edge, on the body contour. And this one is in black. I really like, it's got the triple ply, so it's got that little bit of tuxedo feel going on. Very, very cool. And very nice neck. It's got a satin finish, maple neck, very nice. The scarf joint is very well done. The mating of the maple and the grain and everything. Very nice, deep caramel brown. Very nice, you know, fretboard with very pretty wood grain in it, and everything very nicely mated. The neck fretboard, this is a bolt-on neck, and very well done on the pocket and everything. Very nice guitar. If you're not familiar with Harley Benton, this is the house brand of Thomann Music. I've got their silly sticker here, and I don't get much from them because they're a European, they're a German brand. As I understand it, I'm not 100% on this, but I saw it in a trade magazine article a while back that they are the #1 in terms of international music sales. Thomann is the #1 international music retailer in the world, and Harley Benton is their line, and they are very, very well done from what I understand. I haven't laid my hands on a lot of them, but I've watched a lot of reviews and so forth, and this has some very nice Wilkinson Deluxe Kluson style tuners. Very nice. Wilkinson is I believe a German brand, and so a lot of their, you know, nicer portion when something, you know, they go with the Wilkinson. It's got a one-piece wraparound bridge on it, but it is individually intonated, and so that of the various wraparounds, this one, which simulates the Tune-o-matic, this is my personal favorite. And of course then it's got the two fat P90s there. Very cool. And a kind of fun, you know, design feature is you see the angle here is along with the angle of the cut, the bottom of the fretboard. Very cool. Very cool. You know, really, really cool vibe. And your plug-in is here with your other electronics mounted on this pickboard. Pick guard, very cool. I mean, these are really cool guitars. Now I've got it detuned right now because I've had it stored. I always detune, not a huge amount. You want the strings to still be relatively taut, but flop, sounds like a bass. And so I've got it detuned. I always detune for storing and shipment. A great example of why you should detune is I recently haven't featured it yet because I've been getting the neck settled in. I've got an Ovation that I recently bought and got it on eBay, and the seller shipped it under full tuning tension right through that winter storm, that really bad winter storm. And so when it arrived, I couldn't see anything like this in the pictures, but the neck had started to separate from the body. And luckily, I noticed it right away. Immediately went to work on getting that fixed. But the reason that happened is that it was shipped under full tension in bad weather conditions, and so rattling, dang, 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 everything that happens in shipment, being loaded and so forth, all of that ended up leading to some neck separation. So I always detune, and with the strings on, but still, not under full tension and so forth. You can check out, I've got a whole video about how I store and ship. But I'm going to get this acclimated and settled in, tuned up, and give you some examples, some tone examples before I get this beautiful Mosrite style Harley Benton out for shipment. So some things I really like about this guitar, for one, just the way that it is set up is really well done. It's very natural. I like where the switcher, the selector is, the two knobs down there, and I like having the front mounted jack. If you like this setup, it is a really cool setup. It's very comfortable. The German carve takes a little bit of getting used to, but it provides that very nice contoured surface for you, which is much easier on your arm than a straight cut where it's more angular. So very, very well done, and this is just, it plays extremely nicely and so forth. So to answer the burning question of why am I selling this guitar, well, I bought it when I was still doing music ministry as my full-time job, and I bought a bunch of guitars in that era, and I was buying and selling, doing some fixing up and modding, and just generally consuming the guitar world and all of that good stuff. And this is a really cool guitar. It's got great tones and so forth, but it is just not, it doesn't match the aesthetic of a country church worship band. If you were in more of a contemporary church, absolutely. But this is much, much more of a jazz vibe in terms of the look. Maybe, I know the Mosrite is connected with the punk scene as well. But just in terms of its, the vintage look, it's very like 50s rock, jazz, blues, those sorts of things come to mind. It doesn't scream, worship guitar. But it is a really, really nice guitar. It's just, I got it to try it out. I hadn't been able to get a Harley Benton. The other thing, when I bought this, Harley Benton was still, there was a lot of used ones running around in the US, but they didn't have an actual store. Because again, they're based out of Europe, they're based out of Germany. And so you can buy them and ship them over to America, but that's a lot of shipping cost. And it's only been relatively recently that they opened an actual dedicated reverb store where they have a distributor now set up in the US. But you're still paying more than if you were in Germany buying one, as I understand it, in terms of, because I've looked at their website and they have a lot of cool stuff, but I just, the shipping cost and everything kind of piles it on and so forth. So I got my hands on this one as somebody had bought it new, never really played it. And so I played it some, and it's a, really great playing guitar. But it was not the vibe that I was more just curious about the brand, and I just think it's a really cool model. So hopefully it'll go on to somebody that would really, play it and really enjoy it playing, because I think it's awesome. It's not as conducive to worship, especially, you got the punchy P90s and stuff. But right now I've got it on the bass band setting. We're on both pickups, about 7 to 8 on both knobs. candies give. Particularly, it adds on that hammer-on. It makes them real punchy, poppy. Very nice sustain. Good stuff there. So let's go up to the neck and do a little rhythm work. The slightly angled neck pickup, is a very unusual design. So it's really cool. There's some really cool, like this is not just your usual, all of the basic models, LP, Tele, Strat, SG, all that sort of stuff. This is an example of a house brand getting inventive and stepping out. Good stuff. So how about that twang? This is bridge now. Alright, it sounds like the neighbors are having some fun out there shooting off their guns. I'm very rural here, so I'm not too worried about it. So now we've got my Donner Alpha Cruncher pedal, which I'll say is not sponsoring this video. They sent me the pedal to sponsor for a video of that pedal, but it is such a cool pedal that I've now made it my demo, and they're not sponsoring that angle. Just to let you all know, I try to be as transparent as possible about sponsorships. I really, really like that pedal, and it gives just such a easy, classic rock. So as you can see, really enjoying playing this. It's really an excellent guitar. I don't have anything overtly negative to say about it. Is it top of the line? No, but they're making extremely good quality budget gear, and that's their aim, and this thing delivers on its promise. It's a beauty. It looks tremendously just classic. It's got that classic vintage rock vibe to it. It's comfortable. It plays really nice. It's got a nice neck. It's got a nice fretboard. I keep talking about it. I might talk myself out of a sale here. This is a really cool guitar. I think they run at like $290 on the U.S. store, but the U.S. Reverb store is still kind of, getting its feet planted in the U.S. market and so forth. So I don't have a lot of experience with Harley Benton. I would be perfectly happy to take some of their gear if they want to send it to me to review. They also make pedals and so forth. As they're trying to get into the U.S. market, send it my way. But right now I got no money to buy any further gear. In fact, I'm selling the gear that I've got. So this sucker's about to get heading out the door. But if you're considering getting one of those, I give it thumbs up. It is a great product. It is different. It is very economical, but a really unusual design that will stand out in a very like vintage classic way. It's the way that a tuxedo stands out rather than a mohawk, right? Really cool. Although I could see somebody with a mohawk playing this to make it ironic or something to that effect. But if you're considering one of these, I think it's a really cool guitar, expertly crafted and really economical. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please help me out by liking, subscribing, just trying to get the channel, up and running, and just trying to get success in the channel. Check out, if you haven't already, I've got an ongoing guitar giveaway special that we're going to have the community vote on people. So if you haven't already either entered, or please get in there and help us out by voting for people that you think could, really benefit from a free guitar giveaway. So thank you all so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.